For years, I was stuck in a career that looked successful on the outside but felt completely unfulfilling. I kept asking myself, is this really it? If you've ever felt like something is missing, you're not alone. In this video, I am sharing the exact steps that I took to discover my true passion and create a life that feels meaningful and aligned with who I really am. Let me help you find your purpose and start living with intention, because I know firsthand how transformative it can be. If you've watched me here on YouTube before, then welcome back. But if you are new to my channel, then welcome. I am Dr. Kim Foster, and I'm an MD turned coach and wellness expert. I was a family doctor for 20 years before leaving the healthcare system to pivot into wellness, and I am so happy to have you join me here on YouTube. So here's the thing. So many of us spend our lives chasing goals that don't actually fulfill us. In this video, I'm going to give you some strategies to uncover what lights you up so that you can build a life that's fulfilling and meaningful and completely aligned with who you are. Because once you find your purpose, everything changes and your best life starts to unfold. So let's dive in with the first strategy I have for you, which is to reflect on the joys and interests that you had as a kid. When we're kids, we do things purely for the joy of it. We haven't learned yet what we should be doing or what's considered practical. So it might seem kind of cliche, but one of the best ways to start discovering your passion is just to think back to what you loved doing as a child. What did you love to do before anyone told you what you should do? Did you spend hours drawing or building, exploring in the woods, or performing, or reading, or organizing all the closets in the house? As a kid, I was obsessed with three things. First, I loved stories, whether it was reading, writing, or just getting lost in them. Second, I loved performing, especially on stage. I was always the one performing in the school plays and the musicals. And third, I was always fascinated by and wanted to know how things worked and what the hidden mysteries in life were. My bookshelves were filled with books about handwriting analysis and dream analysis, and then gradually that became replaced by a fascination for how the human body worked, of course. The thing is, we often lose touch with these passions as we get older, either because life gets busy or because we're told that these things aren't realistic. But when you go back to what you loved doing, you're often reconnecting with something core to who you are. Next, I want you to think about the last time that you were so engaged in something that you lost track of time. This is called a flow state, and it's one of the clearest signs that you're tapping into something that really lights you up. This is strategy number 2 to identify your flow states. When was the last time that you looked at the clock and realized that hours had gone by without you even noticing? What were you doing? For me, I have always found flow when I am deep in a creative project, whether it's writing or creating content or even just brainstorming ideas. It's like time just disappears. That's when I know I'm doing something that's aligned with my purpose. A lot of people ignore these moments because they feel like they should be doing something more productive. But those flow states, that is where your passion is hiding, waiting for you to pay attention. Another key to discovering your passion is finding the intersection between what you're naturally good at and what makes you feel fulfilled. It's not just about being skilled, it's about how those skills make you feel when you use them. So strategy 3 is to explore the intersection of strengths and fulfillment. So take a moment to list out your strengths and then ask yourself, which of these make me feel alive and fulfilled when I'm using them? When I was a doctor, I had strengths in that job, and I like to think that I was good at it, but I realized that the part that I truly enjoyed was teaching others and helping them to feel empowered in their own health journeys. That's where the true fulfillment came in for me, and it became one of the foundations for the work that I do now. A lot of people get stuck because they're good at something, but it doesn't bring them joy. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean that it's your passion. Okay, let's move on to strategy number 4. Sometimes to discover your passion, you need to dig deeper. And one of the best ways to do that is through journaling. Journaling helps you bypass all that noise in your head and get to the heart of what you really want. So this is strategy number 4, to journal and self-reflect. So here are some journaling prompts that you can use. If I didn't have to worry about money, what would I spend my time doing? And what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? So I use journaling to ask myself these exact questions. One day I sat down and I wrote, what would I do if I wasn't afraid of disappointing anyone? That question opened up a whole new world for me. It made me realize just how much fear had been holding me back from following what I really wanted. It's so easy to let fear of failure or judgment stop us from even admitting what we truly want. But the more honest that you are with yourself in your journaling, the closer that you will get to uncovering your purpose. Okay, the final strategy is all about experimentation. Sometimes you just don't know what you're passionate about because you haven't tried it yet. It can be as simple as saying yes to new experiences that excite you or even scare you a little. Pick one new thing to try this month that you have always been curious about. It could be as small as taking a new class or as big as exploring a totally different career path. When I was considering leaving my medical career, it felt like a huge leap. So I started getting ready for it by experimenting, saying yes to small projects and opportunities, and just kind of exploring and following myself down rabbit holes. Some weren't for me, but others opened doors that I never even knew existed. Fear of the unknown keeps so many people stuck in place, but if you can push through that and try new things, you'll be amazed at what you might discover about yourself. Okay, I would love for you to take one of these strategies that I shared today and start putting it into action right now. Let me know in the comments which strategy you're going to try first, or if there's something that you have been struggling with when it comes to finding your passion. And if you enjoyed this video, I think that you are going to love the one that is coming up next about how to completely reinvent your life in 6 months. I will see you there. Okay, that went pretty smoothly. That's kind of rare. Not too bad. Oh my goodness, what was that? It's like a cough and a hiccup all together. Uh-oh, I don't want hiccups.